Good evening, everybody. Hope we're all well. Lots of comments today on the about the race and updates. So I thought I'd come on live this evening and just have a straighten my hat there a bit, and just have a little live feed and let everybody know how things went yesterday. So obviously we went up there and hi Kevin, how are you? Hi Marshy, how you doing? So yeah, I just wanted to come on and obviously everyone's given me a lot of support during the training. We've been training now for, it's about 6 weeks, and we have made some progress, so decided to enter the race and just see kind of how we were doing. Good, Kevin, I'm pleased you're doing well. Good, Anders. It's kind of my I thought I might rock a Run DMC look tonight with the hat, the glasses and the hoodie. So we're going for the Run DMC. Down with it. Down with something anyway. It says very bad connection here, Marshy. I don't know why. Because I'm right by the router. There shouldn't be. I know August had an issue with this the other day. Hi PB. Can you see me okay, PB? Is it coming through alright? Because I know August had this same thing on his live feed, saying he had a very bad connection, and he was sat right next to his router as well. So is it just the YouTube thing, or is it... okay, Kevin, good. Alright, it's obviously just a YouTube thing. No, it's gone off now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Marshy, sorry. I think it's a YouTube thing. August did a live feed last night, and he had the same thing, with it keep going off. Hi, Paul. How you doing? PB, what's scary? Good, Joe. How are you? How are you, Joe's Neon? All right, Neon Joe. How you doing? How's everything there, Joe? Have you got any snow yet? Good, Paul. I'm pleased. Yeah, so we obviously slightly ambitiously went up and entered into a round of the Andalusian Mountain Bike Championship. In fact, it was the last round of the year. So everybody, a light that keeps melting. Okay, so you keep getting a sprinkle and then it keeps melting, Marshy. I guess that makes it messy, eh? I guess it just makes that you keep getting that wetness. It's but a buck in the freezer. That's good, Joe. At least you got something to eat if you get snowed in, eh? Rain there, PB, yeah? Yeah. Sometimes I think rain's better than that. You keep getting that bit of snow and then it keeps melting. It just seems to make everything really slushy and dirty. Hi, Johnsburg. How you doing? Recovered and fit to race again is questionable. Semi recovered, let's say. Recovered enough to walk up the stairs anyway. Put it that way. No, actually, Johnsburg feels good. Didn't feel particularly good yesterday. I was on my knees yesterday. More of that to come. But yeah, today actually doesn't feel so bad. Okay, Paul, it's trying, eh? Take extra vitamin C. Marshy, I get a lot of vitamin C. We got fresh oranges here, so I have fresh orange juice every day. And my wife doesn't really eat meat. She does, but doesn't really like eating meat. Not because it's just she doesn't like the texture of meat. She doesn't like chewing it. So we do eat a lot of vegetables. We eat a lot of vegetarian meals. So I get a lot of vitamin C actually just in my diet. So I'm quite alright on the vitamin C front. Vitamin C is not the problem. Yeah, you've got to get the lactic acid out, and I've been drinking like a maniac today, flushing through. Keep having to go for toilet breaks because I'm literally flushing out today. -15 in Norway. And the northerner said it's been so cold. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Joe. It's a constant reminder every time I sit down. In fact, I've been sat on the bucking ball a bit today. Beer may help. No, not particularly, Kevin. It's not the kind of flushing out we need, beer. But yeah, I have been drinking excessively today to flush everything through. But yeah, apparently Norway, the northerner was saying they got very, very cold wind and it's cold. He said it's not anything unusual or excessive, but the media are making it out to be some kind of like end of the world type event. But he said it's pretty normal really for where you guys live. So just doesn't sound particularly pleasant when you're not used to it going below 10 degrees C. I mean, we're lighting the fire here just because it's pleasant to light the fire, but it's only because Lisa comes home, she likes to have the fire lit, and we're sat there in t-shirts, you know, and got the doors open. So it's not like we're trying to warm up, it's just because it feels nice to have a fire going, and dogs like it. But yeah, if you're not used to it going below 10 Celsius, -15 sounds pretty horrific. -20 sounds even worse. All right, PB, take care, won't you? Thanks for checking in. Hi, Sin. How you doing? How are you? Yeah, I like the cooler air, I must admit. If you want to get any work done or you want to do anything outside. 50 Fahrenheit, really, Kevin? Wow, that's good, eh? It's funny how everybody's got such different weather, isn't it? It's really, you know, you can't believe how everyone at the similar type of year would have such different weather. Some people just getting rain, some people getting almost winter starting, as you guys have been saying, snow, freezing cold in Norway. Anyway, I came on to talk about the race. First of all, thanks to everybody for all their support all the way through in the training. Tonight will be 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it sounds so interesting, Joe. You better get the deer out the freezer. Keep yourself warm. Cook something up. Thanks for all your support on all the training. And we haven't done much training really, to be honest. Reviewing it, we've only been going out since the middle of October, so you know, it hasn't been long. I think it's about 10 rides altogether. So it's not like we've been on some major training program. We've just been getting going really, and entering this race was somewhat ambitious. It was the last round of the Andalusian Championship, and boy was it a championship. I mean, it was like from the outset. We started off, I put a little video up of the start, and actually that wasn't the start. We rode down through the village and we stopped on a bridge where they kind of contained everybody on this bridge over a river with the barriers either side of you of the bridge, and then they set you off from there on the actual race. And literally from where you left, you started to climb, and you just climbed. You just climbed and climbed and climbed. And first of all you went up the road, and then you went off the road down to like this little river, and then you started to go up this mountain. Well, not unbelievable, but I mean, talk about setting off. You know, I'm not giving you any time to get going whatsoever. I mean, you were just into it straight away, and it wasn't like a 4x4 track or anything like that, where you've got the earth packed down by vehicles going up. It's like a goat trail. Yeah, Joe, granny gear, but even in the granny gear, it's so loose because it was all these, the goats have been going up there, and you've got lots of little rain ruts where we have had some rain. It's crossed across and dug the soil out, so you've got stones. So that's just really hard to get any kind of tempo going. Obviously, I'm talking for me. I mean, the top guys that won the race, you know, obviously sprinted up there like there was nothing there. So I'm just talking about how I got on with it, not... Hi, Hank. Is it? Oh, Henrik. Sorry, Henrik. Sorry, I couldn't read that. Hi, how you doing? So you did this massive climb, and eventually got to the top. And I kept coming, like, you come up to a crest, you know. Yeah, like walking. It was like that. It's kind of, you know, you're not on top of it. You're kind of in it, you know, and trying to climb all the time. And there's guys following you on motorbikes, just because I was at the back, literally. Like, there's me and a couple of other guys right at the back, and there's guys following you on motorbikes just to make sure you don't keel over and have a heart attack or anything. And they, you know, they kept giving you a bit of encouragement, and you kept coming to these little rides, and you thought, oh, I'm at the top, you know, and you just like give it some last effort to get to the top. And then there was another one. Yeah, that's my hard hat boulder, Johnsburg. Yeah, that's my PPE. This is what I wear on my ball in case I fall off my ball now. So I said earlier on, I'm rocking the Run DMC look tonight with the hoodie. Got the hoodie, the glasses, and the bowler on. So we're down in the hood. No, I don't think I would have got through scrutineering with this on my head. Although it would have been quite funny to see the look on their faces. Anyway, so yeah, you kept getting to these like false crests, and I kept thinking, oh, it's the top, you know, and then it wasn't the top, and then you had to go again, you know. And I think I put up on there, we climbed over 1,000 metres, 1,166 metres or something, in that first 24 kilometres, which was 2 loops, a loop out and back to the village again, and a loop out and back to the village again. And in those first 2 loops, we climbed like over 1,000 kilometres. You've got a beaver derby from 80... Really, Joe? That's amazing. Where did you find that? And so basically it was climbing, and every descent, I hammered everybody. Like, I was overtaking people like crazy. And so I'd go past everybody on the way down and like overtake, I don't know, 5 or 6 people on the descent. And then it's just another climb, you know. Just started climbing again, and then everyone would just slowly come past me. And there was a road bike guy who was like, his legs were huge. His legs were like my waist. They were massive legs on him, like big old boy, you know, like in shape and huge legs. And so every time it came to the hill, he was powering up these hills, and he was just gone, you know, he's gone up the top of the hill. But then every time he got over the top and started going down the other side, that was the guy that, in that video I posted with the descent, he was the guy that had gone over the handlebars. And he was covered in mud and all sorts of stuff, because he just didn't have the bike handling skills for going downhill. So he was amazing uphill. He got these massive engine, you know, and he's got up the hill away from you, and then you get over the top, and there he is in a heap halfway down the hill because he's fallen off. So that was, you found it at a garage sale, really? What an amazing find. So yeah, I mean, funny. Amidst all the pain and suffering, it was fairly amusing. And there were a couple of sections that were really quite tricky going downhill, quite testing. And that one that I posted, just that little sort of taster one of me going down, that I mean, I'm fairly brave, and that was like, do I, don't I? It probably didn't look that steep on that with the camera, but I was at the top, and I'm like, Hi Kentucky, how you doing? Yeah, probably. I think he had a hidden motor in his body, Johnsburg. I think that was what he had. He had plenty of wattage going on there. He had some big old legs on him. So yeah, that going uphill was not a problem for that guy, but coming down obviously was. So yeah, there were a couple of really sticky spots, and in fact there was one place where you really kind of, it was very do or die, and they cut some trees down and left some little stumps sticking up as well, which I thought was a bit dangerous, really. We had to really come around and go drop down 90 degrees, and if you weren't committed, that was a place you could hurt yourself. and there was a photographer there taking official pictures. So hopefully we'll get an official picture from there, and I'll put it up whilst I was still upright. So what did we learn? We learned that I had fantastic support from you all in the training, and that was great, and it really inspired me to go out and I know, Joe. Yeah, I mean, I was just like, and if I hadn't changed those brake blocks, I put different brake blocks in, which were from a different company, not Shimano ones. They were softer ones from a Swiss company, green blocks, really sticky blocks, because it's not just the braking, it's actually holding on for that long, you know, actually having the levers squeezed in, and you've got to kind of modulate a little bit, otherwise you're not going to stop. Cannondale factory is in your hometown, really? Wow, that's amazing. See how all this stuff brings people together. It's incredible, isn't it? So yeah, if I hadn't changed those blocks, I mean, the other blocks that I had in, old Shimano blocks, you know, number one, they were kind of hard blocks, and number two, they were old, so of course they've gone hard. I'm sorry to hear you've had the flu, Henrik. I hope you feel better soon. Miserable, that. Have some whiskey. If I hadn't changed those blocks, yeah, I would have had to walk down the hill, because I wouldn't have been able to stop, because the hard rubber and everything wouldn't have stopped me. So yeah, great support on the build up, and obviously ambitious going in for this race. You know, food preparation was perfect, and Lisa cooked me a fabulous lunch on Saturday, which was the last sort of meal I had, which was salmon risotto, loads of rice, salmon, vegetables, and that was it. And then on the morning of the race, I had a little bit of porridge with some golden syrup on, really sweet. And then energy drinks all through, before the race and all through the race. So I didn't feel hungry or like what you call bonk when you're on the bike, when you like run out of sugar and you just got like nothing. And I didn't feel sick. And oh, you've done an allergic blood test, Henrik. Okay. So that was fine. So food was fine. Hydration was fine. The bike ran beautifully, despite its age. It ran beautifully. All the preparation was perfect, and it ran really, really well. Although, bonus of all bonuses, I go to get the bike out of the car this morning, unload it this morning, and I got a puncture in the rear. And obviously it stayed up all the time I was riding it. And then being left in the car overnight, it had gone down. So I did have a tube with me and a pump, unusually, unlike last time when when I got a puncture on the other bike, on the gravel bike. I had got a pump and a tube and levers and everything with me, but the kind of state I was in no mood for changing inner tubes. I could just about stand up. Yeah, so we got to the race. Everything was great, you know. And looking at the results, they've posted the results today, and the first over 50 rider, the first rider in the over 50 class, was only 10 minutes behind the winner of the whole thing. So, you know, there's nowhere to hide, is there? You can't say, well, I'm old, you know, because the guy who's in the same class as you has come within 10 minutes of the winner. So it's, you know, food was great. Preparation was as good as it could be. The food was good. The hydration was good. The bike was good. So the only thing left was me. So I was the weak link. And looking at me, looking at Strava and looking at all the results and everything, my heart rate was good. It was under 180. It was above 170 and under 180 beats per minute. So heart rate was good. So I wasn't going right out the top of my heart rate. And my breathing felt okay. It was laboured, but it felt okay. And I was recovering quickly. As soon as I got over the top of things, go down the other side, I was recovering quickly. But just didn't have it in my legs. And after that even after that first climb, which was about, I don't know what it was, 6 kilometres, 7 kilometres of just climbing up this this hill. And I mean, it wasn't as steep as that road, you know, out the back of here, Repashon, where I went out and did those intervals. It's not as steep as that, but it wasn't far off. It was steep, you know. And like I say, it's kind of psychologically difficult as well, because you kept coming over these little humps and thinking, oh, I'm at the top. It wasn't the top. It was nasty. Crushed linseeds mixed with organic oatmeal in soya milk. Really? That's interesting. Oh, it's interesting to hear what people's post-race and pre-race and everything was. I think there's a lot to be said for oats, and you know, that I had like natural oats porridge in the morning. It's basically just oats. It's not porridge. It's just oats in the morning before the race, and that seems to release its energy really slowly. So your body takes a long time to break the oats down, and so it just gives you like a gentle push all the way through without being too heavy in your body. That's what I've found anyway. And adding the golden syrup to it, which is basically like putting anything like honey or sugar, isn't it? Adding that to it obviously gives you the sugar element as well. So yeah, I was the weak link, and not my heart rate and not my breathing. So aerobically, not too bad, and could be better, of course. Okay, Johnsberg. Yeah, well, I know you're a former star, so I'm probably not going to compete with you in that respect ever. So, and I had my Camelback on, so I had plenty of fluid. So good hydration all the way through. And the drink that I get, I buy it in the supermarket here, but it's a good drink. I've been using it for quite a while. It's their kind of sport drink, which has a lot of mineral in and all the bits and pieces. Hey Northerner, now I'm just discussing the state of my current state of health. So gradually my legs just got basically more and more tired. And I generally I was tired, but my legs were getting more and more tired, and to the point where towards the middle of that second loop, they just kind of felt like there was nothing left, you know. And every time I came to any kind of rise, I just tried, but there's almost nothing there, and you just like drop down and down and down your gears, and in the end you're in your granny ring, and you just ride it out as far as you can and then walk it or whatever. And a lot of the climbs were very, very loose. And I can imagine even the guys at the front, I'm for sure they were shouldering their bikes and running some of the steep climbs because they were too loose to ride. They were really loose, very, very loose. So I ended up at the back, with two other guys who were same kind of age as me, I would imagine, and the Spanish guy was amazing. He just had kind of one speed. He didn't have any variation, and he didn't go down the hills quickly, but he just had this one speed, and he could maintain this one speed regardless. So he was like a robot. He just constant, like, it wasn't quick. All right, Joe's Leon, great to see you. Enjoy your deer once you come to eat it. Dig it out the freezer. Take care, Joe. Yeah, this Spanish guy, he just got this one speed. So I was like going slow and then going fast down the hill and then going slow and then going fast down the hill and all the rest of it. And it must have been really frustrating for this guy because he was just going at this sort of steady pace. And he kept like catching me up and just going by, you know, its speed and up the hill and riding. Anyway, in the end, we kind of teamed up, us three. And we were all groaning and grunting and suffering together. Cheers, Joe. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Take care. And yeah, we were all like, we got to the close to the end of the second loop. So there were 3 loops. I can show you actually, if you just bear with me a moment, because I've got this stuff set up on the laptop here. So just to give you the info, excuse me a second. Let's log in here. Let's have a look on Google. Where are we? Google, here we go. Okay. So I'll just switch the camera around and I'll show you on here if I don't put my finger on the camera. Okay. So in the middle here you've got Riogordo, the village, and then this loop out here was the first loop, so that's where you climbed up. This was climbing, and then like a little brief little drop down, and then climb again, and then back to the village, and then you went out on this loop here, and you went all out around here, which again was well, just seemed to be going uphill. I don't know how it could be, but it just seemed to be constantly going uphill. And then you had some descents. I think for me the problem was that the descents were very short and sharp, which was great, but you didn't get long, if you know what I mean. You didn't get long to recover. And then anyway, we got to about, I guess it was about here. No, yes, it was. It was about here somewhere. We got to about here, and there was like a checkpoint and a feed station. And we all looked at each other and just went, phew. And the guy who we were riding with, he said that, "Hi Al, how you doing? Nice to see you." He said that he'd done all of the Andalusian championships that year, and this one was by far the hardest. And in fact, he'd done a round of the Spanish championship 3 weeks before, and that was easier than this. So, you know, it obviously was pretty difficult. Well, so it should be. I mean, it's a round of the championship. So we started in the village. We did this loop here, which seemed to be just climbing. Then we went back to the village, and we rode through the village, and it was nice. All the old people came out of the village, and they were all cheering. And you went through all the little side streets and little tiny alleyways and stuff through the village, and came back out again. And then went out on this other bigger loop. Let's pop that again. And we did this bigger loop. Anyway, we got to this feed station, and then we went up and around and back into the village again. And the last part, so this was 24 kilometres. By the time you got here, did this and did this and did this, it was 24 kilometres. And this last loop, up and down, was a further 12 kilometres. And I just couldn't do it. I had not got the energy in my legs, and I asked the marshals at this feed station and said, "What's it like, this last 12 kilometres?" And they said, "Well, basically it's like 8 kilometres of climbing, and then you drop back down again." And I just thought, you know, all I'm going to do is make these marshals, who are being really good and really encouraging and really enthusiastic, I'm just going to make them stand out on this mountain for the whole afternoon, waiting for me to arrive. Probably, basically, walking, because that's all I was capable of. So I called it a day after 24 kilometres. I did those first 2 loops I just showed you, and I called it a day after that. And I thought discretion was perhaps the better part of valour. In this case. So sorry not to have done the whole thing, guys. I tried. As you can see here on my Strava. So I did it on Strava on my watch and recorded it all. So I did 24.4 kilometres in 2.44 hours, and I climbed 1,166 kilometres. My average wattage, my average power was 136, which is, you know, demonstrates how weak I am. A good club rider should be putting out about 250 watts, and I'm putting out an average of about 136. It was tough, and I burnt 1,339 kilojoules of energy, so that's good. So you know, my guts are diminishing, that's for sure. Along with my energy level. So, and then I think we can go into the analysis here, where we've got the route, and what else have we got here? We should be able to go into. You should be able to do all the elevation and all that as well, but I don't know whether I can find that now. So, well, it's a start, isn't it? And as we know, this was always one of the duffers at the pinch point. Actually, Al, I made a mistake about that. It was actually down that part. So where I was expecting that pinch point to be, coming up the riverbed and then climbing up and going through the gap in the barriers across the road, you actually came down the hill. So you actually came down the hill and you came across the road and through that gap and then down the riverbed. So actually it wasn't a pinch point because I had the direction the wrong way around. I was thinking we had to climb up that way out of the village. And when I went up there and rode around, I climbed up it and out of the village. But the reality is that you actually came downhill. So that actually, it wasn't an issue. So I made a mistake with that, Al. And that was the very last part of what I did. We came down that hill, which was like, when I realised where we were coming back towards the village, and I realised that we were going to come down that hill and down there, I was like, oh, thank God for that, you know. Thank heavens I haven't got to climb up that blooming bank and up through that gap, you know, because I was on my knees getting back to the village. I was literally on my knees, you know, like, and the Spanish guy, the one with only one speed, Mr. Consistent, he was so encouraging. He kept stopping and saying, come on, it's not far now. You know, I'm like, yeah, I know. Just keep telling me positive things because if you tell me anything negative, I'm just going to lay down and spend the rest of the afternoon here, you know, laying in the field. So, yeah, I just ran out of steam, totally. My legs just totally ran out of steam. So the two loops were all I could do, and that was it. Yeah, hi Thomas. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was ambitious to go and try it at this stage. Hi Dickard, how you doing? Really ambitious to go and try it at this stage, but I wanted to kind of see where I was after all these years, and now I know I'm at the back. And not even at the back, but that was kind of expected really after basically like 10 rides, 10 training rides. And the overall aim is to race next year in October in France. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to race next year in France in October, and that's what the whole training started was to get ready for that. Hopefully Jono will be able to go as well, my nephew. If it depends on the situation with his baby, because they're expecting, he and his wife are expecting another child. And Jono told me today that he has accepted an offer on his house in Brighton, which means they can move to another house which they've got in mind. So they've got all that to deal with now. So he's got selling his house, buying a house, moving. The new house needs lots of work, and his wife's going to have a second baby. So the odds are not stacked in his favour in terms of coming to France next October. But let's see. I mean, let's see what happens. I shall certainly be going, and that's what this is all about. It's about getting ready to go there. I know a lot of you watched the videos that we did with Jono in France. And that's the aim, is to go there and compete in that event. And what I'd really like to be able to do, again, Shankers being somewhat... Thanks, Dick. And I appreciate, I said earlier on, hopefully you'll watch the rest of it from the beginning, but you know, the whole thing started with all of your support and me when I go out riding up in the hills there and really feel like race every fifth light year, yeah. It feels like you're supported, you know, when you're going out on your own up there, slogging away up in the hills. So I do really appreciate everybody coming along and supporting me. And you know, hopefully, what we'll do now we know where we are. Obviously, I need to get out and get riding and get training, and I'm going to be out again tomorrow. And so it's every other day. I will look for... Thanks very much, Kentucky. Thanks very much for coming in and for subscribing. Really, I appreciate it. Thanks. Hope everything's going well for you. And see you again soon. I hope. Excuse me. I hope. Take care. So that's the aim, and we'll enter a couple of other races. I haven't seen any kind of calendar for races next year yet, so we'll see what's coming up. But it seems like there's quite a few. It's one of those things, like if you live in an area and you're not doing something, you don't really know what's going on. But as soon as you start looking into what's happening, it seems like there's quite a lot of races around here without having to travel too far. So perhaps try and do one race every month or one race every couple of months, just to see. Yeah, Dickard, that would be good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm going out tomorrow, Sin. I'm back out again tomorrow. I should be training every second day, all the way through. So this is just literally the very, very start of getting ready. And it's just all in my legs. Everything else, Sin, is fine. All my preparation, my food, my hydration, my aerobic fitness, my heart rate, all of that is fine. It's just my legs. And I know it myself, you know, I mean, I've only got to look at my legs to see the difference between when I used to be racing and what my legs looked like when I was racing and what they felt like and what they feel like now. And they're like, you know, like a couple of matchsticks now compared to... No, thanks, Dickard. No, I do enjoy it. I mean, it was always a really big connection with my father, because my father was a big cyclist, and he cycled his whole life. So it was always a big connection with him, and so our family have a big connection with cycling, and so it's kind of rekindled a lot of that as well. Those memories. So yeah, I do really enjoy it. And it's just funny because I mean, you know, anyone will tell you if they've been any good at anything or whatever it is, you start to kind of remember stuff. And I can remember like really punishing people, you know, like people coming up alongside me, and I'd let them ride alongside me, and then I just gently give it to them, you know, and just gently go away from them, and it destroys people. That just destroys them much more than you just sprinting off. If you just gently ride away from people, like overpower them, it's psychologically, it just destroys you. And I can remember doing all that to people, you know, and enjoying it, sadistically enjoying it. And now people are doing it to me, and I just, it makes me laugh really, because it's just, you know, how the coin has flipped, and I'm on the receiving end. So you've got to take it, haven't you? If you give it out, you've got to take it, and I'm taking it in spades at the moment. Not downhill, I'm not. You know, I still got it downhill, but uphill, boy oh boy, am I taking it. But there you go. You know, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you? Hi, Shelley. How are you doing? Yeah, exactly, Sin. You know, what goes around comes around, and that is true. And you know, you can't expect. Racist naivety look like a head with eyes and feet. Almost like, yeah, and it's never something the Northerner, it's never something I have aspired to, that kind of look. And I've always had a bit more balance in my body. When I was younger, because my dad, later on in life, I paid for my dad to have a bike made. He had a bicycle made for him. And so we went to the shop, and he got measured up. They measured up your body, and they ask you what type of riding you're going to be doing and all this type of thing. And he was a road rider. He wasn't an off-road rider. And they measured him up, and they made this frame for him. And while we were in the shop, while he's getting measured, they measured me up just out of doing it, you know. Obviously I was paying for his bike, so they measured me up, and they said I got very good, my proportions in terms of the length of my legs and arms and all that sort of thing are very good for triathlon. So he said, well, you know, you've got a really good build for triathlon. But I hate swimming. I just hate it. I mean, I go swimming when I go on holiday, but that's it. You know, I would never want to go swimming, you know, like competitively. Just doesn't interest me whatsoever. I don't mind floating around, but you know, swimming doesn't interest me at all. So I was never going to do triathlon, but I always had a larger upper body. As you say, Northerner, those guys that are true cyclists, I mean, anything up top. Yeah, half a wheel length ahead, that's what you want. Anything up the top for those guys is a waste, you know, they're just carrying that weight, and it's all got to be down at the bottom where the engine is, and their legs get so big. I mean, when those, if you, you know, there's loads of stuff on YouTube. You go on YouTube and put in like 400 watts. If you put 400 watts in, you'll get loads of cycling videos of guys that are putting out 400 watts, where I'm putting out 136. And those guys are putting out 400 watts of power, and it's just they are 4 times stronger than me. So when you get to a climb, they're going to go up the climb 4 times faster. It's just, you know, it's science. So that's exactly it. But yeah, I mean, Johnsburg, I used to do all sorts of stuff, like, you know, in mountain bike races, you get right up behind somebody, and then you just keep giving them a little rub on the wheel, you know, on their back wheel with your front wheel. And mountain bike tyres have got that, you know, side knobs, so you get that. It's just annoying. It's just annoying. They just annoy people, you know, until they get fed up with you and either let you go by or start saying something, and then you've got them, haven't you, you know. So I've done all that, and now I'm having it done to me, and that's fine, you know. I can take it. As Sin said, what goes around comes around, and it's come around. So it's taken 20 odd years, but it's come around to bite me on the bottom. Yeah, that's it, Dickon. If you're not rubbing, you're not racing. Yeah, and that is it. Yeah. Yeah. So funny, really. Very funny. Well, yeah, Johnsburg, you learn, don't you? You learn. So, yeah, I played all the games under the sun in the past, but you've got to be at a certain level, and you've got to be able to, you know, if you're going to play those games, you've got to be able to walk the walk, haven't you? There's no good playing those games and then not having it in you. You've got to have it in you to play the game and then do the guy or girl. And if you haven't got it in your legs, there's no point. You might as well just, you know, grovel behind everyone else and just build up your strength. So that's what I'm going to do for the next foreseeable future, is grovel and build up the strength in my legs, try and get some more wattage, some more output. Hopefully, I would like to be at around, you know, somewhere around 250 watts output by the time France comes around next October. So that's my aim. So I'm trying to build up to that, and hopefully I'll be able to. So I shall continue the programme. And again, thanks everyone for their support. I really appreciate everyone supporting me. I know I'm not exactly a shining example of success at the moment. But, you know, first step, we've taken the first step. We've raced and we found out just how weak we are. We knew we were weak, but we found out just how weak we are. So now we're going to build on that. And we've got a proper target now to aim for. So hopefully I can find a race, you know, one a month or one every 2 months or something between now and October, just to see where we're going. And I'll continue to ride both bikes, the mountain bike and the gravel bike. And then I think Jono said the entries open in July for the Roc-d'Azur in October. Yeah, thanks, Al. Yeah, I am very positive, so I always find the positive thing, and I'm a bit scientific, so I'll go through everything and work out what the weak link is, and it's obviously. You know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out it's my legs. So at the moment, everything else is okay. It's just my legs. and everything else will improve along with my legs. You know, and today I'm suffering, but I'm not like crippled. You know. Yeah, I guess you're right, Johnsberg. I guess you're right. Lose the grams. Hi, David. I've just been explaining to everybody how I went on. So perhaps you'd be kind enough to go back and watch the start, because I've explained everything about how it went. I did two loops of the 3 loops, David. So there were 3 loops out from the village, and I did 2. Then I had to stop. I couldn't keep going. So I did 24 kilometres of the 36. That was as far as I could go. I ran out of steam. But Johnsberg, you're right, of course. And I mean, when I started training, which is only those few weeks ago, I very rapidly lost a couple of kilos. Came off me very, very quickly. But now it's slower, of course. And I'm wondering... Thanks, David. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad start, put it that way. And we had some fun, which is the main thing. But, yeah, I wonder, Johnsberg, as you are losing weight in terms of fat, in terms of grams fat, but you are increasing your muscle density or your muscle size, or, you know, muscle is very dense, isn't it? So you're adding weight to your body, although you're adding weight in the right place, i.e. in your legs, because your muscles in your legs are getting bigger. So I guess, it's a question to you, I guess that I am not going to see dramatic weight loss in terms of every time I get on the scales, but perhaps I'm going to see more change in distribution of weight in my body. Would that be correct? Or would you say that I should just be dramatically losing weight in terms of performance, i.e. not trying to carry so much weight? Because obviously I weigh like 88 kilos now. Is that the case? So I'm going to lose weight, but it's going to be a transition as well from weight I'm carrying in my upper body to weight that is actually useful in terms of size of my muscles. That's what I'm kind of understanding. So I'm not expecting to get on the scales and see huge weight reduction from 88 kilos. Obviously it will go down. Northern, had to see Miguel Indurain riding a bike at 50 miles an hour and smiling. Yeah, Indurain was a monster. I mean, that was in my time of cycling when Indurain was riding, and that man was a monster. Okay, Johnsberg, thanks. That's always been my understanding. So I think I said right at the very beginning. No, that's right, David. We're early. We were only kind of 8 weeks in, so it's early in the program. What was I going to say? Yeah, I would like to be, ideally, I would like to be about 82 kilos. That was what I'd like to be. I'm 88 now, so I'd like to be about 82. But I don't know whether that's physiologically possible. At 51, I don't know whether my body will change that much. I don't know. Maybe it will. Certainly, I'm experiencing changes in my body since I've started cycling. And so just for anybody that is thinking of doing anything, like whether you're thinking of just getting on a bike, I'm exactly 1.8, 6 feet. I'm 1.8 metres tall. So anyone who's thinking about getting on a bike, please do. Just even if it's just riding to the end of your street and riding back home again, or ride through the park or whatever, because you do feel different. I mean, you immediately feel different. And previously, for the last few years, I very much felt like my legs were hanging on the bottom of my body. They were just there, like transporting me around. And now, since riding again, I feel them. Like I actually can feel my legs. Like when I lay in bed at night, I can actually feel them. As if they're really there. I don't know if that sounds stupid, but they're not just something that's hanging on the bottom of your body that you know, you're wandering around on, that's just supporting you, you actually feel like they're there. You can really feel them, and it's nice feeling. You feel much more kind of alive, if you know what I mean. You feel much more as if your body is actually doing something. And that's not to say that I'm not fairly physical. I mean, I work here and I work outside and I'm doing all sorts of stuff. Not training, but just generally doing stuff. So, for instance, when I got that Apple Watch, it's got like this activity thing on, just set at a certain level for every day that you're supposed to achieve. And I was exceeding that all the time, just doing the things I normally do without trying to do anything. So it's not like I'm sat, you know, doing nothing all day long, but it's totally different when you start to train something. Yeah, muscle memory. Funny enough, when I used to run these motorbike tours in Morocco in the desert, a guy came to me. He was a ski instructor, and he this was years ago. He talked to me a lot about muscle memory, and he was a great sort of exponent of that. And he taught me a lot about it actually during the course of the 10 days. We were out for 10 days on the bikes, and he taught me a lot about muscle memory. And I they do. You kind of wake them if you've done it before, and hopefully done it when you were younger. They wake up, don't they? They do. They remember what they're supposed to be doing. Although mine are coming around very slowly at the moment. I think I need one of those electronic cattle prods, you know, just to like wake them up, just to get them going again. You know, come on, boys. You know, that's what I was thinking to myself, because it's all here in your mind. You know, because you've done it all before, so you're in amongst everybody, and it's all here in your mind. You're thinking to yourself, come on, lads, you know. So you're looking down at your legs like, come on, it's time to go, you know. And there's nothing happening. I mean, they're going round, but you know, you're not boiling any kettles. You're just spinning your feet round. So always the same as me. I'm 178. You can do 75, 78. I'm 75 now. Sorry, I have to pull that one back. 75 now. Training, cutting firewood. 67 when I was racing. Okay, so you think, Johnsberg, you think I could get down to that 82, 80-ish. I don't know whether I want to be as, like 80, I'd be quite, well, you know, let's see. But you think I could get down to 82, that's what I had in my mind. I don't know why I've picked that out. I think I was 82 for a long time, so I thought I'd pick that out. Get a small electric engine in the frame, Northerner. Yeah, I know. I've been reading about that. Okay, Johnsberg. Well, that's going to be the aim then. We'll get down to 82, and then, you know, see where we go from there. As you say, what you say makes total sense. I mean, whatever you're carrying up top, you're having to push along. So, yeah, I mean the two young guys who got themselves. Obviously, I didn't see much of them at the race. But the brief view I had of these two young guys who got themselves to the front of the group when we were at the start, on the start line, were like, you know, seen more meat on a jockey's whip. You know, he's like a couple of whippets, probably in their early 20s, something like that. A couple of tall, skinny guys. Hi, Damo. How you doing? How are you? Yeah, tall, skinny guys, and off they went. You know, that was it. So I briefly saw them as they went up the hill, and that was the last I saw of them, kind of thing. So good, Damo. I'm pleased to hear it. So yeah, you're absolutely right, and carrying that extra weight is not going to help. So it's going to be a combination of as Johnsberg has said, it's a combination of losing some weight up the top and gaining some muscle mass down the bottom. And I think those two things, I'm going to aim to get down to 82 kilos from this 88 where I am now. And we will see, my friends, we will see. So that's it. I wanted to come on and just talk to everybody or whoever was available. and thank everybody for their support and explain how it went and explain kind of what we've learnt, let's say. Explain what we've learnt from the experience and what we're going to do moving forward, which is you're blowing out sprinklers at 82 psi, John. Yeah, I could do with being blown out at 82 psi. That would be very very helpful. If you could come over and blow me out at 82 psi, that would help, I think. Anything would help at this stage. Any injection of energy would be of assistance. Go for 79. Yeah, go for the title, eh? Go for 75. Why not? Yeah, let's get to 82, Johnsberg. Don't set my targets too high. I might not. So you're nearly done, John, are you, for your season? And Northerner, you're going to try and get down a bit. I know you said you didn't feel too uncomfortable with your weight as it is now, so. Yeah, it's where you feel comfortable, isn't it? And if you've got a reason for doing it, but I'll go for the 82, and then last couple of days over 200 this year. Wow, John, you've been busy, eh? We'll get to 82 and then we'll review, shall we? Yeah, David, thanks. Just keep going. We'll keep going with the same programme. And thanks to you guys, I've got a lot of support and guys like Johnsberg on board and everybody helping. So let's see. And I'll do my best and stay committed to doing it. So, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, don't think it's any kind of... it's all about... Yeah, aren't we all? Don't think it's any kind of chore for me, because it isn't. You know, I love it. I love being out on the bike, and I mean, a few people have commented on me going downhill. You know, but I love it. I love going downhill. I love going as fast as I can go. You know, I just love it. So it's not a chore. I really enjoy it, and as much as I huff and puff and virtually expire. It's, you know, I love it. So, yeah, I just do my best. I just keep doing what I'm doing, and any support. Don't know why people lose it. Not like you want to find it again. No. Hi, John. Sorry, I'll just go back there. 50 degrees. Wow, John, that's really nice. Someone else said earlier on that they're having good weather. It's amazing, isn't it, how some people have got such good weather at this time, and like the guys in Norway have got such terrible weather. That's nice, John, isn't it? Driving cross country, that sounds lovely. I bet it's beautiful there with that temperature as well. Really nice. I can imagine it. I think it's one of the lovely things you get from -4. Oh well, it's better than it has been, Northerner, isn't it? Yeah, don't crash to Swede if you're driving. Don't. But isn't it lovely how this brings people together? I mean, you talk to people from all around the world, and when people post stuff, I mean, Old School Logging has put up a few videos recently. He only does very short videos, but they're lovely. You know, he's up in the woods, and you see all the colours, and you see the change in seasons and the woods around him and everything. They're you know, spectacular. So 12 in Calgary, Dickard, and you've had it pretty cold, haven't you? You told me you got your fire going and everything there. So you've had it pretty cold in Calgary, you said. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it, how the weather fluctuates. I mean, we're not terrible. -15, low humidity. Yeah, it's that humidity, isn't it? It's cold and low humidity. It's not so bad. I know when really, Sin, spitting a bit of snow. I know when Bucking and I went to Gransfors, and we stayed in that wooden house. Sven's old family home by the river. When I came out. Okay, John. Thanks very much for checking in. Thanks for checking in live on your phone from somewhere in Idaho, somewhere in the wilderness. Thank you, John. It's good to see you. Yeah, when we stepped out in the morning, and I could see my breath, and that was the first time I'd seen my breath in probably 10 years. It's just like stood there for 5 minutes, just breathing out, you know, because we just don't get it here. We don't get it. Doesn't drop that cold that you could see your breath. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it? How you change. I mean, when I lived in the UK, it was, you know, 6 months of the year you could see your breath. But now you get so used to that. You get so used to very, very low humidity and it being warm. And then you suddenly step out somewhere and you can see your breath. It becomes a novelty. It's funny how you get used to stuff. But anyway. So anyway, as usual, Shankers is rambling about nothing. Just wanted to say thank you very much, everybody, for your support. I wanted to let you know how we got on. Cheers, John. Thanks very much. Good to see you. What we're going to be doing, and it's just more of the same, really. And hopefully you guys will come along. I'm also going to be milling up. Hey, Snowman, how you doing? How are you? Yeah, Tin Man. That's an in joke. No, I don't think anyone else knows about that at the moment. You can let them in on the secret, what Tin Man means. Or I will. Let me know what you want to do. So yeah, me and Don have got a funny. Me and Don have got a funny story to tell. Well, it's not that funny, but it's quite funny. And the in joke is Tin Man with the big heart. So yeah, we're going to keep going. Al was kind enough to give me some help, advice, getting some cypress trees, cedar trees down last year, and I'm going to be taking some more of those down. 197 kilometre winds. Oh, I can't believe it. Horrific. Just terrific. I think you told me, Northerner, didn't you? I think we had a conversation that night when it was really that cold. You got up really early in the morning, hadn't you, to light the fire because it was so cold. Yeah, and Al gave me a hand getting some trees down. He had a couple of suggestions which really helped. And I'm going to be taking some more of those down fairly soon. I've just got to get the digger serviced. So the digger's due for a service. So I'm going to get that serviced. And then I'll take some more trees down. I'm going to be milling those up and making a bit of furniture. And Thomas, who's not on tonight, yeah. What Don's telling you, what Snowman's telling you is that in Spain they have real trouble with M's. They don't really use M's that much. So my name on the entry form was Tim, T-I-M, Skilton. And on my race number to go on the front of the bike, they put your name on the bottom. But because they have this thing with M's, I don't know what it is, they put Tin. So it was Tin Skilton. So I put that up on Facebook this morning, having a bit of a laugh, saying I'm changing my name to Tin. Yeah, well this is it, Sin. This is it. So they put Tin Skilton on my race number on the front of my bike. So I said this morning I'm going to change my name to Tin. And of course Don immediately says Tin Man, you know, man with a big heart. So yeah, Johnsburg, there you go. So yeah, that was it. That's the funny story. Yeah, thanks, Al. So we're gonna be. Yeah, they all need oil to get going. Yeah, I need oil and tea, combination of the two. Yeah, do so, Northerner. Yeah, a good idea. Call him the Tin Man, Tin Boy, depending on how old he is. Yeah, I'm going to be milling up some timber, making some furniture, and I'm going to be doing some wood turning because Thomas asked me to do some wood turning. And I know you guys have all got all sorts of different types of timber, but what we have here is we have Sorry, my phone's telling me to go to bed. Time to go to bed, it says. Yeah, what we have here is a lot of olive, and I know you guys don't get olive trees, so yeah, thanks Dickard, Tin Man. Maybe I'll have that put on my racing gear. Yeah, that's it, Johnsburg from the Wizard of Oz. Big heart. So I'm going to do some olive wood turning. So I'll make a couple of videos of that, make some bowls and different bits and pieces. It's funny wood to work with because the grain in olive, because olive trees grow in such a strange way, the grain really grows in a, like it intermingles as it grows. So it's funny wood to work with. Yeah, cheers Northerner. I'm going to be signing off in a minute anyway, so thanks very much for checking in, Northerner. Good to see you, and I'm glad it's a bit warmer there now than it has been. I'm glad the hurricanes passed through. 1939. So, yeah, a bit of this and a bit of that. So it won't all be cycling for the next year. It won't all be me huffing and puffing up hills. So hopefully there'll be something of interest for different people. Well done, Tim. See you on the next video. Okay, thanks, David. Thanks very much for checking in, and thanks for your comments and your support earlier on. I do appreciate it. So thanks very much. Take care. See you, David. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off. I bored you for long enough. Thanks very much for checking in, and thank you for your support so far and your continued support. Dirty Dozen 2018, yeah, Don. It's an aim, isn't it? When is it? When is that event? Cheers, Kevin. Thank you. I did send you an email, Kevin, earlier on. When is that, Don? That 12 Hills thing. I think my legs need to be bigger for that. Is it just gone? Is that what that was? The Saturday after Thanksgiving. Okay, so it's just gone. Yeah. Because that's that post I saw on Facebook earlier on. Oh, you sent me some pictures. Sorry, Kevin. I haven't seen the email, so I'll have a look. Thank you. All right. Well, let's try for that, because that'll be after France. I'll have France in October, and then thanks, Al. Thanks for checking in. Keep in touch, won't you? Take care, and keep trying your ball, won't you, Al? Sorry, Dickard, let's have a quick look. I think when the bucket drops, the BS stops. Yes, welding away. Cheers, Dickard. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks very much. Good to see you. Back to training. Yeah, bye, Don. Let's make that a name for that Dirty Dozen, eh? For next year. I'd love to do it. I really would love to do it. Maybe there's a chance to come over and do that in November. I'll do France in October, and then I could come over in November and do that. That would be great. I'd really enjoy it. So let's try. We'll see. We can stream it live, man. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you very much for checking in. I hope you enjoyed the little update, and I had to confess that I couldn't do it all yesterday, but I did my best. So let's keep going, eh? All right, guys. Hope you're all having a great time doing whatever you're doing, and speak to you very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.